A merchant approached Buddha in Jetavana, his face marked by grief. His son had left the family unexpectedly. Buddha calmly beckoned him to sit. The merchant clutched his hands tightly as if holding on to his pain. Buddha lifted a clay pot and displayed it. "What is this object I hold before you?" he asked. The disciples answered together, "A pot, Blessed One." The merchant nodded, wiping tears from his eyes. Buddha gazed at the empty pot. This pot is empty now, yet it retains its purpose. Does this change its inherent value? The merchant hesitated, then replied, "No, Master. The emptiness does not alter its worth or purpose. It remains a pot." Buddha placed the pot gently on the ground. Your heart is like this pot. It holds, it empties, yet its purpose endures. The pain you feel is the grasping hand. Release the hand, and the burden will fall, Buddha said. Buddha rose and faced his disciples, the lotus framing his silhouette. The path lies in understanding, he said, his voice as steady as the earth beneath their feet. Buddha handed the merchant the pot and said, "Fill it with water from the stream and reflect upon its emptiness." The merchant walked to the stream, observing the clear water flowing freely. He filled the pot and returned. Buddha asked, "Does the pot now feel heavier in your hands than it did before it was filled?" "Yes, Blessed One. It feels heavier. The water transforms it, but the pot remains unchanged in its purpose," he answered. Buddha smiled softly. Grasping transforms your heart into a vessel of suffering. Release grasping, and you will find freedom. "Let me show you, merchant," Buddha added. He poured the water from the pot back into the earth. Did the pot resist losing its water? Does it lament the absence of what once filled its emptiness? He asked. The merchant shook his head, understanding the metaphor. "No, Master, the pot simply exists. It neither clings nor grieves." Buddha continued, "And so it is with your heart. By nature, it holds and releases. This is its true purpose. Your son's departure is like water flowing away. Trust that life moves as it must, ceaselessly and purposefully," Buddha taught. The merchant knelt beside the Buddha, his hands trembling but his heart lighter. He bowed deeply before the Blessed One. Buddha said, "To love deeply is to release without fear. Pain arises from clinging, but peace follows acceptance and wisdom." The merchant whispered, "Blessed One, how do I let go when my heart aches so profoundly with longing for him?" Buddha answered, "Longing is the teacher," pointing to the grasping hand. "Observe it without judgment, and its grip will lessen. You fear emptiness because you misunderstand it. Emptiness is not the absence of meaning. It is the seed of transformation," Buddha said. Buddha turned to his disciples. "All who cling suffer. All who accept find liberation. This truth applies universally and eternally." Buddha pointed to the sky. "Do the clouds grieve when the wind carries them away? Do they mourn their transient forms?" "Number, Blessed One," the disciples responded. "The clouds simply flow as the wind directs, merging into the vastness of the sky. So it is with human attachments," Buddha said. "Release and merge with life's flow, and suffering will dissolve into peace." The merchant lowered his head, silently reflecting on Buddha's words. He felt the weight of his anguish start to recede. Buddha offered his final thought. The heart must hold and release, like the pot with water. This is the dance of existence. As the stream flows without ceasing, so does life. Trust the movement, for clinging halts the natural rhythm of life. The merchant stood, holding the empty pot, bowing deeply once more. His gratitude illuminated his face as he turned to leave. Buddha picked it up, its luster dulled by the dust of neglect, and held it aloft. "Behold this object," he said, his voice calm yet resonant. "A symbol of desire, and thus a chain of suffering." And so, the seed of letting go was planted, nurturing hearts with its wisdom and preparing them for transformation. Another day. Another lesson in the tranquil presence of the Buddha's wisdom. The morning carried a gentle breeze of renewal. The sun warmed the earth as we gathered near the river's edge. Silence held us. Yet our questions boiled within. I dared to speak, my heart heavy with the burden of lingering anger and unanswered betrayal from a close friend. Master, he said, his voice hesitant but firm, is all desire a source of suffering? Buddha smiled, a serene expression that softened his features, and replied, not all desires harm us, but most are rooted in ignorance. He placed the ornament on the ground, drawing a line in the dirt beside it with a delicate finger. Anger, like fire, the Buddha said softly, burns both the giver and the recipient. Do you seek to extinguish or to fuel? I hesitated, recalling moments when I fed my resentment rather than release it. The weight of my decisions pressed upon me. Come closer, the Buddha gestured, directing me to sit beside him at the river's edge. Let us seek answers from the water. His hands cupped the river briefly, and then he let the water slip away, leaving his palms empty but renewed. When you grasp the water, he said, it slips away despite your effort. When you let it go, it flows freely. What does this teach, Master? I asked, puzzled by the simple yet profound act. His wisdom seemed hidden yet enticing. The river shows us that grasping is futile, for life moves regardless of our resistance. Release leads to peace, he replied. Subhuti, known for his contemplative nature, asked, Master, how do we free ourselves from these chains of desire? His voice trembled slightly, carrying the weight of his longing for liberation. Buddha paused, allowing the question to linger, its depth sinking into the hearts of the disciples. It does, if you let it, the Buddha answered. Forgiveness is not for the other but the liberation of yourself. How shall I begin? I asked, desperate for the first step toward unburdening my heart. My voice trembled under the weight. The Buddha reached for a pebble beside him and placed it in my hand. Its smooth surface cold against my skin. This pebble represents your resentment, he explained. Carry it for a moment, and observe its weight upon your spirit. I held the pebble, startled by how its smallness could evoke the heaviness of my emotions that mirrored its presence. Now, place it back in the river, the Buddha instructed. Notice how the pebble surrenders to the flow without resistance. I followed his guidance, placing the pebble gently into the water. The river embraced it, washing it into its boundless currents. It is in surrender that we find freedom, the Buddha said. Release binds us closer to peace and furthers our wisdom. But will the pain return? Blessed One? I asked, worried that forgiveness might be fleeting. Like a leaf carried by the wind, the pain teaches, the Buddha replied. Listen to it, for through pain, you cultivate strength, compassion, and a deeper understanding. Is it wrong to resist forgiveness when the hurt still feels fresh? I questioned, conflicted by the lingering rawness in my heart. The first step is acknowledgement, the Buddha said. Only in acknowledging your pain can you begin the journey toward release. Unlearn it by seeing the object of desire for what it truly is. Temporary, limited, and incapable of providing lasting joy. The disciples meditated on his words, their minds wrestling with the simplicity and complexity of his teachings. You do not forgive for them but for the clarity and freedom of yourself. I considered his words, realizing the forgiveness was not transactional but a gift I bestowed upon my own journey forward. How does forgiveness transform the forgiver? Blessed One? I asked, curious if letting go shifts the essence of the one harmed. Forgiveness lightens the heart, the Buddha said. The disciples bowed deeply, their reverence for his teachings evident in their gestures. The golden ornament lay forgotten on the ground, its once treasured value diminished by the clarity of Buddha's words. You now understand, but understanding is not yet practice, the Buddha said. Walk this path daily, And forgiveness will grow. Is it as simple as choosing to release each day? I asked, wondering if the effort was accessible yet profound in its simplicity. Indeed, the Buddha replied. Each day carries the opportunity to lay down the burden and return to the flow of peace. His wisdom echoed through my mind as I considered how many days I had carried the weight that forgiveness could have relieved. Blessed One, if forgiveness liberates us, why does anger persist so strongly? I asked, seeking to understand its relentless grip. Anger arises from attachment, the Buddha explained. We attach to our expectations and resist when they are unmet. How do I release attachment? Master? I asked, realizing that my expectations bound me to my suffering as tightly as anger itself. Begin by observing your attachment, he replied. Do not judge it. Understanding its source will guide you toward its release. I sat beside the river, reflecting on moments when my attachments ignited the anger that darkened my view of the world. Will I ever be free of anger entirely? Blessed One? I asked, wondering if liberation meant banishing its existence. Freedom is not the absence of anger, the Buddha said. It is the ability to let it pass without clinging to it. Is forgiveness a skill that must be cultivated? I asked, contemplating whether to practice its art like meditation or mindfulness. Yes, the Buddha replied. Forgiveness grows through patience and practice. Like a seed nurtured in the soil of compassion. Will forgiveness ever feel effortless? Master? I asked, wondering if it becomes easier with time and devoted effort. Effortlessness comes with mastery. The Buddha said, until then, trust the process of growth and the wisdom it brings. I bowed low, gratitude swelling in my heart for the profound lesson the Buddha offered through the gentle language of the river. The present moment, Buddha said, is imperfect, yet complete. To resist it is to resist life itself. Another day, another moment to practice the art of letting go and to embrace forgiveness as the river embraces its stones. Another day, another opportunity to learn from the Buddha's unshakable wisdom under the shade of the Bodhi trees. The air was fragrant with the blossoms of spring as we sat cross-legged, hearts open to receive the Master's words. A grieving mother approached, her face lined with sorrow, carrying a small clay urn in trembling hands. Her voice quivered. Blessed One, she began. My only son has left this world, leaving my heart a hollow echo of despair. The Buddha regarded her with infinite compassion, his presence as steady as the mountain against the winds of time. My child, why do you carry this urn as if it holds more than the ashes of a life once lived? He asked. The woman broke into fresh tears, clutching the urn tighter. This is all I have left of him, she cried. The Buddha gestured to a nearby tree, its vibrant blossoms swaying gently in the wind. Do you see this tree? He asked. Yes, Blessed One, she replied, her voice shaking but her eyes drawn to the living symbol of beauty and impermanence. This tree once bore a seed, and that seed no longer remains. Yet the tree now stands tall and alive, he explained. Does the tree mourn the seed that gave it life? Or does it offer its branches to the sky? He questioned. The woman stared at the tree, her mind struggling to bridge the metaphor with the ache inside her heart. Life transforms, the Buddha continued. What you loved in your son has not vanished but flows into all things around you. Her grip on the urn loosened slightly as the weight of his words began to plant seeds of understanding within her. But Blessed One, she asked, how do I let go of what was when my heart refuses to release the past? The Buddha asked her to place the urn before him, its presence now more symbolic than the sum of its contents. Place it here, he said, and see that what you clutch so tightly holds only the remnants, not the essence. Hesitantly, she set the urn down, her hands trembling as they left the comfort of its weight. Seeking an answer instead, the Buddha stood and beckoned her to follow him to the riverbank. its waters alive with the endless dance of flow, as we walked together. The Buddha plucked a fragile blossom from the ground, cupping it gently as if cradling its existence. This flower, too, will wither, he said, but its scent lingers in the air, its essence eternal though its form is fleeting. He released the blossom into the flowing river, watching as the current carried it gently, merging it with its boundless embrace. Life is the river, he said. It does not stop flowing when we cling to a moment. It continues its course. The grieving mother watched the blossom drift away, her tears now silent as her thoughts traced the river's endless journey. How do I honor my son if I must let him go? She asked, her voice softer but still seeking clarity. You honor him by living fully, embracing the moments he shared, and allowing the flow of life to continue, he said. But my heart feels empty, she admitted, placing her hand over her chest as if to keep her sorrow contained. The heart is like this river, he replied. It is never truly empty, for it is filled by the flow of life. Her tears fell freely now, not from despair but from a gradual release, like rain easing the grip of a parched earth. Does the pain ever disappear, Blessed One? She asked, wondering if time could truly smooth the sharp edges of her loss. The pain transforms, like water carving a stone, he said. It remains, but it becomes a softer echo of itself. Her gaze fell upon the river, its endless motion now a source of peace rather than a reminder of life's relentless impermanence. Does letting go mean forgetting? She asked, afraid to lose even the fragile fragments of memory she carried in her heart. Letting go is not forgetting, he assured her. It is releasing the grasp so that what you love may remain free. Her shoulders relaxed slightly, as if the weight of her grief had begun to shift, allowing space for something new to grow. How do I begin this journey of release? She asked, yearning for the first steps toward peace without erasing her love. Begin with acknowledgement, he said. Acknowledge your pain, your love, and your resistance. From awareness, the path of release unfolds. What if the world feels empty without him? She asked, her voice tinged with fear of the void left behind. The world is not empty, he replied. It is full of what he gave you, woven into every moment you breathe. But the ache feels so heavy, she said, pressing her hand to her chest again as if to anchor herself from the storm. The ache is a reminder, he said, not of loss but of the depth of your love and connection. Will I ever feel whole again? She asked, her voice fragile yet filled with the faintest glimmer of hope. You are already whole, he said. Your wholeness has never been lost. It has only been clouded by the veil of grief. The Buddha knelt by the river, drawing patterns in the sand that were washed away as the water kissed the shore. See how the river erases my marks, he said. It does not resist. It allows the change to flow naturally. The mother watched the sand, her tears now mingling with the deep breaths of someone beginning to understand a greater truth. Will I find him again, in another life? She asked, hoping that their connection was not bound by the limits of this world. The threads of love are endless, he said. They weave through time and space, unseen but never severed. Trust in their strength. The mother bowed low, gratitude shining through her tear-streaked face. Her heart no longer anchored solely in sorrow but buoyed by hope. Life, too, flows forward, he said, though obstacles may arise. Like stones in the river, the stream continues its journey unhindered. Another day, another soul unburdened by the teachings of the Buddha, who reminds us that to let go is to live. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.